passing yards. It's the Lions and the Cowboys coming up next.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. The Lions at 2-0 here to begin the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Stroud looking to throw. Open man, that's Malik Neighbors. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up second down. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. You look at this Cowboy defense. Against the pass, they're toward the middle of the league, number 15 in the NFL.
They absolutely have to avoid the penalties, have to walk that line between being aggressive and the ones that get you in trouble. The illegal contact, pass interference calls, they've got to make sure that they don't have those. He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs. It gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Finding Williams once more, complete. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressive. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. They'll go again with Gibbs. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Malik Neighbors, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
To throw is Prescott. He finds his man complete. That's Ferguson. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Lions, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Play fake. Here's Prescott. He'll drop that underneath to ETN. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Prescott now. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. You talk about this Lions defense. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it...
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Dexter Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. 20. He's still on his feet. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. CD, what a sensational start for this defense. Instead of just forcing the 3 and out, which they were about to do, they pick it off and take it in for the score.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't just settle for the standard good way to start a game. They started in dramatic fashion. Take it away, score points, and guess what? They'll be flying to go back out there on defense again after that play.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Back to it after the pick six. Prescott. And he floats one there, incomplete.
And I think we're all starting to wonder with this early deficit, what will that do to their play calling? Do they feel like they have to be more aggressive? Because they're throwing to start the drive here, but it winds up incomplete.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Here's Prescott. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions offense getting set once again. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's being a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Gibbs straight ahead. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Micah Parsons, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. That's to the tight end, Laporta. And he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. And Stroud now to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Lions are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And out now come the Cowboys. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. 21-0 our score after 1. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. On the give, here's Gibbs. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 54 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Stroud out of the gun here. Flush to his right, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Micah Parsons able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. his throw's going to be incomplete.
And partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Right side to Williams. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on third down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll try and run for it. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now, start your comeback, but you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
Prescott to throw it. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Throwing, Prescott. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback and giving him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Pass complete. George Pickens with it.
They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And his kick is absolutely perfect.
Well, I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it. And they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
Jahmyr Gibbs and the rest of the offense headed back out.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
But from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
It'll be a gain of 5, and now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Here's Stroud. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
Taking it about the 16. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
Dallas offense set for this next drive.
And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Under pressure, and down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Prescott.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson.
14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we've got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And Detroit back in possession of the football. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 69 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And he continues to have success running the ball here in the first half as he's already closing in on 100 yards for the game. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Throwing now is Stroud.
Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Now Stroud. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Stroud to throw it.
His pass caught at the 4. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Lions continue to pull away here in this first half.
You know, in golf, they often talk about playing the course and not worrying about what the other players are doing, what their scores are. That's essentially what we're seeing from this offense. They're just having fun and doing what they feel like doing today.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Off the play fake, Prescott. He'll buy some time right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ballgame. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The Lions offense and C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing because to be ahead of the defense that much, every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
From the gun, Gibbs will get it.
And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards, good enough for a first. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. call that a very strong gain of 24.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Stroud looking to throw. And that nearly intercepted. Oh, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's second down.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
That's complete. It's Neighbors.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead, and part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown.
Jamison Williams.
His first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Lions are pouring it on. Well, I'll say one thing, Charles. You're getting really good practice here in breaking down touchdowns. What did you see there?
Well, the same thing I've seen over and over and over in this first half. My scintillating analysis, Brandon? This offense is absolutely taking no prisoners.
Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt it in, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's Prescott.
And Prescott, his 3rd interception.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick 6, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the 2nd quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression, my goodness indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick six.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. To throw is Prescott.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down. Prescott now. It's caught. Tolbert. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game. And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
And this one is right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And they'll have time for 1 play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And in the second quarter, it's the Bears who are out in front. Rome Odunze has a touchdown reception from fellow first-round pick Caleb Williams. From there, let's get over to the Rockies to check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. It's Bo Nix, the Oregon man, with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Brian Robinson, a touchdown run in the victory. We just watched a very good first half out of the Ohio State man, C.J. Stroud. He connected on 3 touchdown passes in those first 2 quarters as his guys have built up a sizable lead here at the break. The highlights from the first half, all one-sided. This one got out of hand early, and now you have to wonder how these teams will approach this second half, because this one's already close to being in the bag, if it's not already. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And they'll get to him right away as he's taken down right there at the 44. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Now Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's Prescott. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Calling a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Brian Branch with it. Still on his feet. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Partner, I see you reaching for the white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why, because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game, because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
The Lions offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Hand off now to Gibbs. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Stroud working out of the gun. That's to the tight end, Laporta. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. On third down, here's Gibbs. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Lions are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They'll run with Gibbs. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Lions have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here, because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it was all capped off by a touchdown run from Jahmyr Gibbs. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott getting ready to go once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets. And it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Prescott to throw it.
He'll drop that underneath to ETN.
He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. Short completion, just 4 yards. 3rd and 7 now.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Now Prescott.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Throwing, Prescott. And his throw here's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field.
And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
He's got it to Williams.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 115 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 down at the 33.
Another run for Gibbs here.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Micah Parsons able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Third and 19. As Stroud now to throw. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Lions turned away on 4th down, and the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. Well, they were 2 for 3 on 4th down tries. Now they're unsuccessful. That brings them down to 50%.
But that's a percentage you have to feel pretty good about. You know, 2 for 2 for 3 before that. They finally get stopped again. That's okay. That's the type of team that'll keep pressing. In this situation, they'll continue to go for it.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down. A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think.
They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and 3rd and 8 now.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
And this is dropped. Oh, my goodness. There was no one around him, but he took his eye off it, and it falls incomplete.
And this is a situation where, as a head coach, you're just saying, what else could go wrong? Let's get it all out of our system, please. This has been a sloppy game throughout. The execution has been lacking. A lot of mistakes, both mental and physical. And here's a big play that goes by the wayside.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The home team's offense and Jahmyr Gibbs headed back onto the field. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. Oh, short pass here taken in by Laporta.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Yeah, the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back.
Throwing now is Stroud. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted.
Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Well, maybe a small measure of revenge for this defense because they have been thoroughly dominated so far, but a brief bright spot there with that pick 6.
Seemingly coming up for air after being dominated as you described. They get a nice play there. Probably not going to change the balance of this game, but they have to feel a little bit better about themselves after that one.
The extra point up and good by Aubrey.
So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
So here come the Lions now.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
From the 32-yard line now, here's second down at 7. Now run by Gibbs. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Throw over the middle. He finds Williams.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
And Gibbs has it.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48.
Mozzie Smith there to bring him down.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 140 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Now it's Gibbs. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Now they'll change things up. Stroud will throw it. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Cowboys force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. They'll start on the ground. ETN. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Seems pretty obvious defensively. A key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's one deep for Pickens.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Cowboys here unable to convert on fourth down. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position.
Now, that's just simply good coaching and excellent technique on that play. You know why? Because everyone wants to rush the passer when they want to throw the football, but you're not always going to get there. So what are you taught to do? When the ball's finally thrown, get your hands up in the passing lanes, and they batted that one away.
No, 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 no.
Here's Gibbs to the 27-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
And they'll run it with Gibbs.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Stroud now on 4th down. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Stroud to throw it.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Here's Stroud.
And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete.
Holding offense.
So they decline the holding penalty and will take the down instead, as that leads us to 4th. On 4th down, on is Jake Bates for the Lions field goal.
This is an easy one, 23-yarder.
Bates' kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator,
You never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being the...
And my goodness, another interception.
It's Brian Branch with it.
And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead.
They'll run on first down. It's Gibbs, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he is going to have a Lions first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the word. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Lions are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. So definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown pass as they're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
And now here come the Cowboys.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
A shotgun snap and a give to ETN.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Finds Pickens outright.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. Prescott
And they'll try and set up the screen to ETN.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Well, hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams.
Tackled there by Nick Cross.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Ferguson. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And they will remain well behind.
Wow, partner, it's almost a little jarring to see a holder set up on the other side of midfield. I haven't brought out my binoculars to make sure on that one. That is showing an awful lot of confidence in a kicker to try and hit from 61 yards, and this one winds up no good.
Counter play. Here's Gibbs.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
With that kind of run on 1st down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
2nd and 6. They'll go again with Gibbs. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And not really any daylight here to speak of. He takes it ahead for maybe a yard. That's all. 2nd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Stroud looking to throw.
It's complete to Williams. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
A short gain that doesn't get him the 1st down, brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
Gibbs will try and pick it up.
And he has the first down before he's tackled at the
5. Gibbs straight ahead.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Gibbs will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1.
Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
They'll try to run with Gibbs.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal.
Now Stroud.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
A try here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive spans 13 plays.
And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And that final kickoff concludes the ball game, partner. And one side, a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the other locker room, partner, the head coach is just telling his team, hey, we didn't play well enough to keep it close enough where that one possession down the stretch might have given us an opportunity to win the game.
So for Detroit, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season.
And they will hit the road next week to take on Washington.
Meanwhile, for Dallas, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3.